والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم تنزيل العزيز الرحيم لتنذر قوما ما أنذر آباؤهم فهم غافلون لقد حق القول على أكثرهم فهم لا يؤمنون إنا جعلنا في أعناقهم أغلالا فهي إلى الأذقان فهم مقمحون وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدا ومن خلفهم سدا فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون وسواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون إنما تنذر من اتبع الذكرى وخشي الرحمن بالغيب فبشره بمغفرة وأجر كريم إنا نحن نحيي الموتى ونكتب ما قدموا وآثارهم وكل شيء أحصيناه في إمام مبين صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأفضل الصلوات وأتم التسليم على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. One of the very important topics that we've covered numerous times here in this program is the topic of social media and the etiquette of social media usage and how we are able to create that balance in our lives as far as what it is that we have to use with technology and today's advanced world. Does our religion, Islam, require that we disengage with the rest of society and live in our own little bubbles and not involve ourselves in what we usually are facing as far as the wider society is concerned? Is that what our religion, Islam, wants? Does Islam want you to live like those backward people, that you're not allowed to have phones, you're not allowed to use social media, it's all bid'ah, it's this, it's that? Or does Islam just freely allow you to do as you wish without any kind of regulation? Or is there some sense of balance? One of the things that we are going to highlight in this presentation is that a lot of what we talk about, a lot of what we need to learn as far as the skill of how to use social media, basically comes down to common sense. And that means that should you use your brain, a lot of these dangerous things that could come your way when using social media will be eliminated. The problem, unfortunately, is that people get so hyped up in their lives that they lose momentum, they lose control, and it turns into a very, very dark area in their lives, turning to addiction, turning to losing self-esteem, turning to mental health issues, and many, many other things that, inshallah, we will be speaking about tonight. When it comes to the definition of social media, obviously everyone knows what social media is. It's those common platforms that people use in today's society through either a computer or through a smartphone or any other device or gadget, where with the access of internet, you're able to interact with other people around the world. You're able to see things around the world through going through any of these social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc., etc. Now, of course, we know that, the boom for internet usage and things like that came about in the 90s. And obviously from there was, that interest in people wanting to have access to the internet. And then gradually there were mobile phones introduced. And after that, smartphones came about. I'm sure most of you here don't remember the life before internet. I clearly do. And most of you don't remember the life before mobile phones. I clearly do. And if anyone says to you that mobile phones and the internet has made our life less stressful, they're absolutely wrong, because our mobile phones and quick access to these kind of things has made us more paranoid, has made us more compulsive, has made us more insecure. And that's why I've shared this in Ramadan, that the more someone uses social media, the more mental health issues they are going to develop. The more you use social media, the more, or the stronger, the higher the levels of depression and other things will come about. And this is, of course, what statistics say. This is what scientists and psychologists say. This is not what, Muslims or Islam or our ulama say. This is what mainstream Western statistics clearly speak about. And of course, who doesn't have access to the internet? Even in the poorest of countries, they have access to internet. There's no country around the world that doesn't somehow have access to the internet. There are no countries around the world that don't have, social media, alaikum salam, social media platforms and smartphones and whatnot. Who uses the internet more? Well, obviously, younger people use the internet and smartphones and social media more than the older generation. And of course, as you can see here, as far as teenagers are concerned, it says 78% of teenagers have a smartphone. Now, we've got two ways of looking at this, the pros and the cons, the advantages and the disadvantages, the goods and the bads. Now, I'm not, drawing some kind of extreme image in your mind as far as the damages and the dangers of social media and internet usage and having a mobile phone. No, these are things that are easily accessible in any kind of research, any kind of article that discusses the good and the bad of social media and the internet and smartphones and whatnot. So, obviously, we're not being discouraged to use social media. We're just being encouraged to use it in such a way where we are responsible and accountable. But it is unfortunate that majority of people, especially when they conceal their identity, especially when they hide behind a keyboard, especially when they are not using their real ID, they tend to be people who don't have some kind of responsibility or accountability for what it is that they say or they do or what they share. Why? Because no one's going to know that it's me commenting and making this absurd comment, or no one knows that it's me hurling insults and abusive words at that particular person, and therefore I'm not going to be held accountable. This is usually what happens, isn't it? Where you've got people with, what do they call them? Keyboard warriors. They've got alias names that they use. They're hiding their identity, right? And all of a sudden, they say whatever it is that they want to say. Trolls. Don't they call it trolls? What are the benefits, the good benefits, the advantages of social media? Well, obviously, number one is communicating with family members and friends. That's a very good thing. Number two, education, learning about whatever it may be, whether it be your area of study, whether it be about your religion. A lot of really, really good information can be accessible on the internet and on social media platforms, YouTube in particular, when it comes to education. Then we have creativity, people who are articulate, artistic. They can use the social media in a good way. For entertainment as well, clips, movies, just, memes and whatnot, right? Is that what it's called? Did I say it wrong? Games. Someone wants to do gaming, right? Number three, budget and overview. That's social media use. Obviously, Facebook, if I can't see your face, that means that you can't see me. Who's next to you, Abdullah? Huh? Some guy? Call him over this way. Obviously, Facebook wins the usage of internet, number one. And after Facebook, you've got, all these other different platforms. Then you've got the internet usage. And of course, obviously with internet, you've got the good side of the internet and you've got the very bad, very ugly, very immoral side of the internet. Unfortunately, here in Australia, you're free to Google and view what you wish. There's no kind of there are certain restrictions, but in general, there are no restrictions in what it is that you are able to search or see when it comes to internet usage. It's not like certain other countries that do have regulations and restrictions in what it is that you're able to access. Yes, we understand that there are ways around it, VNPs and things like that. And we also have, what's wrong, Ali? Did I say it wrong? VNP. Yeah. See, because you're not paying attention, you're on your phone. It's not nice. When I'm talking, when I'm giving a presentation that I've spent so much time and I see some people on their phones, it's not nice. Unless you're translating. Are you translating for someone? Something like that. Ahmed. What, is it in the blood? What? All right. What was I saying? What was I talking about? VIP? VNP. So there are ways around it, obviously, that people can use. But then here, one of the things that we're going to be speaking about is, what kind of accountability and responsibility do you have? And that's why me personally, I'm against the complete blocking of internet, especially when it comes to family members and children and siblings and whatnot. I'm against that. I say that there's no use and there's no benefit in you completely blocking the usage of internet, because this young person must learn the correct culture of usage. When it comes to this particular thing, right? Unfortunately, in those countries where there are more restrictions, there is a higher usage of going into haram websites. Why? Because it's a taboo topic. No one speaks about it. There's no education about it. And therefore, through their curiosity, they venture into these dark websites. And of course, it becomes what they call a clickbait, and then they become addicted to it. Whereas from a young age, if we are educated about the dangers of pornography and haram images and clips and whatnot, from a young age we are educated about it, and we're not just saying, oh no, don't watch it and that's it. No, we're educated about it. You will be less likely to go and search in these particular areas or look in these areas, because it's a matter of education. It's a matter of learning the skill. It's a matter of having that culture of correct usage of the internet. Nothing, absolutely nothing will replace that human instinct of wanting to socialize. But unfortunately, with the increase in usage of social media and mobile phones, especially with those who are given access to a mobile phone at a young age, they don't know how to interact with other people. They don't know how to interact with other people. They become like zombies, antisocial. They're not even able to make eye contact when they're having a conversation with you. And that's why I gave this example. Look at that. Who can read that? Can you read it? What does this mean? MashaAllah, فيلسوف هذا. He needs floss, MashaAllah, Mr. Dentist. Ali's studying dentistry. That's right. That's right. Shukran, Hussein. What it means is that people are so much accustomed to writing messages and communicating through messages that even when it comes to a normal, simple conversation, they would prefer to do it via messaging. Even handwriting. Who has good handwriting here? Right? You see, once upon a time, once upon a time, yeah, I picked that up now. Once upon a time, right, when we were at school, we had to have handwriting sessions in our class. Do you have that now? Yes. You still have that, huh? So with that, you still have bad handwriting. This is the British spelling for communicating, all right? So that's not wrong, all right? What about this? Who can read that? How was your day? Good. And yours? They're sitting on the same table, right? But their communication is, yes. My handwriting is good, actually. My handwriting is good. 100% better than yours, right? All right. I have to do this very quickly because this is a very long presentation, okay? Because it's an important topic. What does this say, Mr. Muhammad? Yes? Thank you. So you get what I mean by, unfortunately, in today's society, because everyone is so obsessed with their mobile phones and emailing and texting and things like that, face-to-face interaction has become less. Even when it comes to expressing your condolences for someone's family member passing away, people prefer to do it via a text. Or when you want to say congratulations, instead of doing it in person, going and visiting them, congratulations on your marriage, congratulations on having a baby, people do it via messaging, unfortunately. What are the disadvantages, the negative sides of social media? First and foremost, of course, which is what has been mentioned by a lot of studies, low self-esteem. You're comparing yourself with others. You see someone on Instagram having a really, really nice reel in Maldives, and then you're struggling to pay your petrol and can't even afford to travel interstate, let alone to an island like that. It breaks your self-esteem. It lowers your self-esteem, right? She is absolutely perfect, apparently, in her looks, and you're ugly, your glasses are crooked, you're this, you're that, right? Compare yourself to him, compare yourself to her, you have a low self-esteem. And it's not only about women, by the way, it's about men as well, right? They say that majority of men who like to go to the gym or prefer to go to the gym or want to go to the gym isn't because they want to stay healthy. It's not because they want to stay healthy. Hey, journalist, come sit in the front so you can read for us. Where have you been? Alaykum salam. Hamda salama. What's going on? Waiting for Maitham, huh? Shame on Maitham. Right? What was I saying? You don't go to the gym because it's for healthy purposes. You go to the gym because you want muscles, because you want to look like Ma'adri Minu and all these other things, right? Another bad aspect of social media is bullying, social media bullying and trolls and whatnot. As I said, person is anonymous, doesn't have any accountability, responsibility. Another is addiction. It's like drugs, social media addiction, right? Affecting your sleeping, affecting your mood, affecting your neck. Why does it affect your neck, social media? Yeah. Right? Affecting your eyes, affecting your marriage. So many people end up being divorced because of social media and being on it too much, not prioritizing their lives, having bad communication skills with their spouse. Very, very dangerous. Very dangerous. We've also covered the topic of people approaching you on social media. Salam alaikum, sister. MashaAllah, that hadith that you shared is very nice. Can I have your number? And, one's liking the other, their posts, and then one thing leads to another thing, right? We've spoken about this a lot. We've spoken about vulnerable people. We've spoken about manipulative people, either men or women, men mostly, who feed off of the vulnerability of innocent young Muslim girls, deceiving them, tricking them, keep it private. This is secret. I'll come and ask for your hand in marriage when I'm ready, but I'm not ready. Let's get to know each other first. And all this kind of manipulative things, unfortunately, that usually happen. And each and every one of us here are responsible for educating those around us about this. You say to your friend, hey, by the way, what you're doing is wrong, what she's doing is wrong, what he's doing is haram, etc., etc. Okay? Addiction as well, distraction as well, and all these other things that usually happen. Of course, when we talk about addiction, it's going to mentally ruin you. It's going to damage you because you don't have that balance. You haven't matured enough for you to be able to do this independently. And it has nothing to do with age, by the way. You could be a 35-year-old person and be misusing the internet. You could be an old person and have addiction and use social media in the wrong and haram way. But of course, when it does come to something like age, there's the common kind of time where it is appropriate for you to use social media, where it is appropriate for you to have a smartphone or even a normal phone. And the reality is, if you were to look on the internet, not what Muslims say, but what psychologists and specialists and non-Muslims say, the older you start using a phone, the better it is for you. And sorry to say this, but parents who give in to their young son or daughter and give them a phone because their young son and daughter are nagging are the worst of parents. Parents who silent their son, shut their son or daughter up by giving them a mobile phone, and for 5-6 hours they have absolute calm in the house because their son is watching someone else playing games. How depressing is that, isn't it? I always say this. How many times have I said that here? You go to the shopping center or you go to a masjid and you see a little kid with his father's phone watching some other kid play games. How depressing is that? Huh? That fries this kid's brain. And this is why watch and read about this, how they say how damaging watching Shisma lemon, cocoa melon is, how damaging it is for kids. But parents have no problem. Or Teletubbies, or all these other things. Watch and read about the damages. Of course, that's why you're damaged, because you watch it. That's why. Right? Again, this is not what I'm saying. I'm just unqulling things that are usually said. And that's why here down the bottom, Mr. Reporter, poor mental health. Basically, what does that mean in our language? Is he's got, shuno? Yeah, thank you. He's got khbalat, basically. How's it going? He gradually develops that mental health issues, unfortunately. And also, they say that the more you use social media, the dumber you get as well. Right? So, if it's not about age, it's about maturity and it's about responsibility, then what age should you be to get a smartphone? How old should you be to get a smartphone? Of course, here, this all goes back to the individual responsibility of how the person is. But one of the biggest problems that we have is the pressure around you, because Peter and Samantha and Aboud and Ja'far and Hassan and everyone in your classroom has a smartphone. You're the only person, Khatiya, who doesn't have a smartphone. So you feel insecure, you feel awkward, you feel like the what color sheep? Right? What? صلى على محمد وآل محمد. ايش بي هذا؟ Red Bull. So, we just talked about bullying, didn't we? And I'm bullying Hamadani. Oh, mashallah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali. ذكي هذا, ذكي. What was I saying? Bullying. I can't see Mathan, by the way. If I can't see you, that means you can't see me. How old should you be? Of course, you need to be mature. Sometimes someone could be 16, 17 and still immature. You need to be responsible. You shouldn't be doing it because you want to copy others. Oh, but so-and-so has it. So what if so-and-so has it? If so-and-so jumps off the cliff, will you jump off the cliff? Isn't that what they say? Yeah, Kahi's nodding his head, he would. Right? This is what they call, in school, this is what they call peer pressure. Stop playing with your phones. This is the second time I'm talking about obsession and addiction, and they've got addiction. If I find out anyone watching soccer, I'm going to call Haj Salah. I'm going to call him. If I find out anyone is watching soccer, بالعكس يمكن الحج يكيف إذا يشوفه. So it's a bad example. Distraction. Distraction. See, I'm giving a talk here, and distraction with the phone. It's not, it's rude, it's aib. I'm talking to you, I'm communicating with you, I'm having a conversation with you, and kulsa enta, you're looking at your phone. Kulsa, you're touching this. Kulsa, you're playing with kids, mathalan. It's not nice, right? Yeah, unless it's Haidar. Distraction, right? Now, here, look at what Mr. Cheng has to say. Yalla, reporter. Listen. Did you hear that, Jojo? Did you hear that, Nisar? Alaikum salam. Bukhara, he's going to drop the camera. تعال موسى تعال 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 خذ هذا تعال تعال تعال. All right, can you someone throw him outside or something, please? Distractions. Look at this really nice sign. We do not have Wi-Fi. Sorry about that. Talk to each other. Pretend it's 1995. And that's why you have to develop the correct understanding for social media usage, for internet usage, for mobile. We're talking about mobile phones now, aren't we? For mobile phone usage, you have to understand. Now, you look at me, okay? You don't know what I'm looking at on my screen. It's dangerous, isn't it? Especially for a parent who wants to make sure that their son, their daughter isn't going and looking at bad things, at immoral things. It's dangerous. I've got a phone. You don't know what I've got on my phone. You don't know who I'm talking with on my phone. Maybe someone is messaging you, oh, hi, Hussein. My name is Abdullah. And I'm 12 years old. Ba'din yitla, he's 35 years old. And he's a kidnapper. And he's planning to kidnap you and sell your kidneys in the black market. And you're having a full-on conversation with him. You're playing Minecraft with him. Is Minecraft an online game or? Yeah, you're playing Minecraft, Hak Musa. You're playing Minecraft with him, right? And you don't know that he's what we're going to be speaking about, a child. You need to be responsible. You need to be responsible. And that's why there are many groups out there. One of them is called Wait Until 8th. That's what their group is called. They've got a website. You go, and they're not Muslim, by the way. You go, you read their website. You have to wait until you're 15, 16 years of age, until you have what's his name? Take the pledge. Childhood is too short. Live your childhood. Live it. Why are you so obsessed with wanting to have a mobile phone? What's a mobile phone going to do to you? You want to communicate with other people? There are other ways. Write them a letter and post it via post and wait for another 3 weeks until you get the reply. So what? That's what we used to do. Right? Now, look at what that says. Look at this. This is very common. Yani she's maftakhra. She's happy that, she's managing her children and her children are outside. You know what statistics say? Statistics say that over 70% of a child's time is spent indoors. Compared to before, where their recreational time, majority was spent outdoors. Majority was spent outdoors. Now it's spent indoors, unfortunately, all because they're in front of the screen, right? Read this. Read what Cheng says. That same guy. Look what he says. Cheng says that he would try to push back the age of kids using a smartphone till 16 years of age. 16 years of age. All right? Bill Gates. Look what Bill Gates says. He didn't allow his own children to have a phone until after the age of 14. هذا لا هو مسلم ولا هو شيعي ولا هو فلان. Doesn't carry the same principles and values that me and you do. So why do we have to be that insecure that we need to have a phone? And most importantly, this is a very important point. Don't cave into the pressure your child gives in asking for a smartphone. هذا شلون راح كتلة هذا؟ Huh? Don't give in, don't cave in. Because your son, because your daughter, because you're nagging to your mum. I shouldn't be saying son or daughter. I should be talking to you people. Nagging. Baba, I want a phone. Baba, I want a phone. Baba, I want a phone. Why? iPad, yeah. Baba, I want an iPad. Thank you for saying that. Sit down, Hamadani. Baba, I want an iPad. Baba, I want an iPad. I'll give you an iBox. Right? Social. Read this, journalist. Outside interest. Right? Now, this is a very long, what's his name? Haydar, come a little bit closer so you can read this. This is a nice story. No, Haydar, my grandson. Come closer. This is a nice story about an experiment that they made at school. Right? Maybe you can read it quickly. An experiment that they made at a school. And basically the experiment was that everyone agrees not to use any social media or internet or mobile phones for a period of time. And then they came to realize that they learnt things. They gained skills. They became nicer to each other. They were less judgmental towards each other. They were more social and all of these other really, really good things. And that's why, look what it says here to us parents. If you want your kids' school, read it, Haydar. All right. Basically what that means is today's society, people don't have any policies. No mobile phone policy. For example, for a long period of time, in my house, no phones in the bedroom policy we had. No phones in the bedroom. No one's allowed to have a phone in the bedroom. And no phone after 8. Right? There are a lot of these things. You need to discipline yourself in having these things. Okay? I'll go through these very quickly, inshallah. Bad content, we spoke about that. Behavior, being judgmental, picking on other people, bullying other people, right? Unwanted information being shared, really, really bad. Being distracted, she dropped her baby and she keeps on walking, right? All of these things that are happening. Meeting with a stranger out of nowhere. What was his name that Hussein was speaking with? Abdullah, right? Having absolutely no problem with meeting with a stranger. Once upon a time, we were told if a car stops next to you and says, come, I want to give you a lolly, you run away and you say no. Nowadays it's different. It's not cars. It's online, what do they call it? Online Gmail. Online grooming. Thank you. Online grooming. That's really, really dangerous. Read what it is that I have posted here. Read that. I'm not going to read it all. Therefore, you have to have a checklist. Make sure that you are respectable, that you're accountable, that you keep your values, that you control yourself, you discipline yourself, that you make sure you're always thinking about your sum'ah, your reputation, your family's reputation, especially when you are communicating with other people. Make sure that you always play it safe. Don't share information. Don't accept random people's friend requests. Don't flirt, right? Once it's out there, it's out there. You don't have control over it. Be very, very careful what it is. Dangers. Messages can become viral in the matter of seconds. Identity theft. Innocent pictures can be photoshopped and changed into immoral pictures. Harassment, intimidation, bribes, extortion. You never know who you are talking to. And that's what they call online predators. How do you say it? Predators. Right? Look what it says here. 69%. Who do you think should be watching this and listening to this more? You guys or parents? Unfortunately, a lot of parents are too busy. It's not their fault. They want to pay their mortgage. They want to do this. Then they don't have the skills. They don't know what's going on. وش ده سوي يا ابني؟ I'm da سوي assignment. دا ألعب game. أي بارك الله. ما شاء الله عليك. He doesn't know what's going on. Huh? You guys are all laughing because you know the dangerous things that many of us, our fellow Muslim Shi'i boys and girls are doing, and the parents unfortunately don't know. That's why we need this tathqif, this education, not only for you guys but also for the parents as well. And that's where it's the responsibility of, for example, the khutbah, the this, the that, for them to convey these messages in the languages that your parents speak. 69% of teenagers regularly come across an online predator, not knowing that it's an online predator, because they've used the picture that they found on the internet. They're using alias names and what not. Anonymity is the main characteristic of predators. Anyone? Read it, reporter. Anyone? Hano. Jojo. Yes. This is very important. That's why all of you need to be tuni. What's going on? Pay attention. What did reporter say? Yeah, 69%. That's what he said, huh? Pay attention. Online predators. This maybe 3/4 of the people that you're gaming with, your soccer games, are predators, and you don't know. They're waiting so they can sell your kidneys. How online predators work. First of all, they act all innocent. They act all your age. They act like they know you. They share things that are common They, of course, gain your trust by, assuming that they understand you because your family don't understand you, right? Gaining your trust. That's what they call grooming. Right? And then, of course, they exploit you in different ways. This is why this is a really nice picture here. This is what usually happens. Look at this guy, huh? And look at all these masks that he has. This is why it's very dangerous. And you know what? Even in the most common of social media platforms, there are these predators in everything. In Minecraft, in what's the other game? In Roblox, in Roadblocks, in all these other things, there are very, very bad, evil people. That's why, personally, I discourage people to allow themselves to play online unless you're a very, very mature adult. Look what it says here, 77%, 12%, etc., all these statistics. What do we know? You're trying to define yourself, you're trying to find out who you are, and of course there are many dangers to that. Public rejection, you want to post something about yourself innocently, you saw something about yourself, you want to post it on social media, and then someone says, oh, how ugly are you? Go get a facelift. What a poor person. This, that. You want some kind of validation from other people, and they're giving you exactly the opposite. That's going to break your shakhsiyah. That's going to be intimidating for you. That's not going to be nice, right? And of course, this craving builds and becomes more and more and more. And as we spoke about, social media, addiction and obsession, zombies, or we spoke about zombies. You become zombies because you're so antisocial, very, very dangerous, right? Low IQ, problems with eyes, problems with hand, problems with neck, and everything else. Okay? What are the suggestions? Read them out, Haidar. Read loud. Say it again. Read louder. Why'd you? Yeah. From within, not from likes. Not from likes. What was that word that I used? Anyone picked up on that word? Nomophobia. Has anyone heard that before? Huh? What is it? Yes. Nomophobia. Who has that? Other than Ahmed, who has that? Hussein, you have that? ليش انت عندك mobile phone? So, carry on. Parents need to. And that's really the case, isn't it? Majority of people who do post on social media are doing it for the likes. Not doing it for most of them, not doing it for any reason other than for the likes. That's why sometimes they do the weirdest of things. Sometimes they push the boundaries of their morality as well. Sometimes they push the boundaries of their religion as well, by, especially unfortunately with women and their hijab, by likes. Just imagine a woman posting an image of her wearing the most correct form of hijab. How many likes is she going to get? But if she pushes the boundaries with makeup, with stylist, fashionista, very, very revealing so-called hijab ways, then of course she's going to get more likes. Unfortunately. Think, Shino, Dajun. Yep. Read that again. And that's why positioning the laptop, the computer in a certain way is very, very important. So you're not, if you don't have something, if you're not looking at something that you shouldn't be looking at, why are you hiding? Snitches get stitches. Next. Is that why Ali Khatir Ruha Dham Ruha is hiding? Because he's watching the game. Carry on. Yeah, I'm just trying to imagine. Yani, who do you think would do that? Like here, who do you think would do that? Going and seeing someone, Tuni would do that. Would you think Tuni would do that? Like going and seeing someone random in Westfield Shopping Center, for example, right? Hussein, would you do that, Hussein? Jojo, would you do that? Huh? 100% Jojo would do it. Ali Dajjal would do that. Why? So I would say, Ali, can you come and fix my kahraba? And Ali would say, yeah, sure, here, I'm coming right now. All right. Next, last one. Alhamdulillah. Yes. وآخر دعوانا thank you الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وآله الطاهرين